afternoon and welcome to Andrews CPAs and Advisors for another edition of PPP Loans with Dan and Paul. One of the things we thought we would talk about today is the extension that was recently granted on July 4th from Congress and then through the President of moving the PPP application process through August 8th. It was originally supposed to expire on June 30th. Plenty of money left on the table. At this point in time, there's north of $100 billion that's left out there. So we all know that if that doesn't get used, it'll get repurposed for something else. So we would love to see that go to our small businesses here in the St. Louis metropolitan area. So what we thought we'd do is just take a quick rehash of some of the key points of the original PPP application process. So Dan, why don't you talk to our folks about that?
Certainly. Almost all businesses with 500 or fewer employees are eligible for a PPP loan, including nonprofits, including Schedule C sole proprietors. The PPP loan amount is based upon 2.5 times the average monthly salary. So that is somewhat straightforward for those businesses that have true traditional employees on W-2s. What is a misconception is those Schedule C sole proprietor businesses that do not necessarily have employees but have net self-employment income, that net self-employment income is included in payroll costs and can be used towards obtaining a PPP loan as well as obtaining loan forgiveness with that PPP loan. If you remember now, there is a 24-week cover period as opposed to the previous 8-week cover period. If you use all of your loan proceeds, at least 60% on payroll costs and up to 40% on eligible non-payroll costs, and you meet FTE requirements, you meet wage thresholds, you can obtain maximum loan forgiveness.
And Dan, you mentioned a key word there, forgiveness, and that's the hot button right now. Banks are out there right now offering opportunities for people to apply for forgiveness, but things seem to be still a little early. July 1st was sort of a magical date at one point in time, but I think there's still some concern about things that are coming out of the SBA. So banks right now, I think for the most part, if they're taking applications, they're probably just housing them at the moment, waiting for some additional information. Many banks are saying at this point, they're just not ready to accept them. So I certainly wouldn't panic. I don't think being first in line in this is really important. You might be better served waiting a week or two after everyone else starts that process. So we talk about that 24-week that you mentioned earlier. You don't have to wait through that full 24-week covered period. If you've met all of your requirements, you can apply for forgiveness early. The thing you want to make sure, though, is on the wage side, if you've reduced any individual employee by 25% or more, then you're going to have to make that up before you can actually apply for forgiveness at that time. So again, remember, a lot of money left out there. So we certainly want everybody to take advantage of it if we can. So Dan?
Yep, that sounds like a great opportunity. If you have not taken advantage of the PPP loan program, as Paul mentioned, there is still plenty of money left. And with that, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.